Hi, Pastor Nathan Decker with your Better Together devotion for today. And this week we've been talking specifically about how do you grow your faith? How is it that we go from where we are to where God is leading us to be, to going to being a more mature, dedicated, more holy, more sanctified, more trusting, more loving Christian disciple. And so a part of that, I've been using this running metaphor of running the race, as Paul calls it when he writes his letters. I've been talking about intentionality and accountability and stretching and thinking theologically. One of the things that I've noticed about running is that a lot of people fail to understand that running is a developmental sport. It's a developmental thing. You don't wake up one morning and say, I've always wanted to go run a marathon. I think tomorrow I'm just going to show up in Boston and I'm going to do that 23 miles and 0.2, whatever. Nah, that won't be no problem. It'll be easy. You don't just go run a Boston Marathon. You don't just go run a mile. Sometimes you have to start small and you have to focus on where your level is so that you can get beyond where you feel God is leading you to. That's why so many times I encounter people of faith who journey in the faith, and their journey is kind of like a roller coaster because they start with high expectations for themselves. I'm going to read the whole Bible in 2 weeks, Pastor, and that's going to make me such a better, awesome, super Christian. No, you might be really good at speed reading. We need to set appropriate goals and focus on what's in front of us and focus on where God is leading us. When I run, I look about 10 feet in front of me. That way I can see cracks in the sidewalk, I can see uneven spaces, I can see maybe a highway or a road rather, that's coming in that I have to cross, and I can pay attention to the vehicles around me. If I look too far ahead of me, if I look beyond that 10 foot, too far up ahead, I risk tripping and falling flat on my hoo-ha and being kind of in pain because I'm getting older. If I look too close to where I am, I also risk looking so much down that I don't see what's coming, and maybe I venture off the sidewalk and into the street and I'm not aware of the fact that a car is coming, or I trip into somebody or hit somebody or run into somebody because I'm running and overtaking them too fast. We have to focus on appropriate goals. They can't be so easy that we're running over our own selves, but they also can't be so far out there that it's impossible for us to attain them. The important part is having goals and having realistic goals and having goals that we're willing to set, be held accountable to, and strive to reach. 10 feet is my rule when I'm running, because it's the right middle point of seeing far enough ahead to be safe, but also not looking so far off in the distance that I get overwhelmed and feel discouraged because there's no way I can run 3 miles. We're better when we're together, and we're better when we stay focused on appropriate goals for our life and our development of Christian faith. Set some goals for yourself. Talk them over with somebody who's a little bit more mature than you are and ask them, maybe, are these appropriate? And ask them also to give you tips on how to get there. This is Pastor Nathan Decker reminding you again, we're better when we're together. Go with God.